My dudes, it is a Wednesday, and I would say every Wednesday, but really this is almost bi-monthly Wednesday. Bi-monthly? Yeah, well, I was going to say bi-weekly, but there are 4 weeks per month, so this would also... No, it wouldn't be bi-monthly, it would be twice a month. Bi-weekly tradition of a Planet Coaster upload, the biggest videos of this channel, and it was difficult for me to edit this one because not a lot really happens. Well, I mean, we are building a roller coaster, so I guess that is something that happens, but this was a lot of footage. Like, usually when it comes to editing these videos, it's like, you know, quite a few hours of work condensed down into one video, but this is like literally a lot of hours. Like, this is probably like 12 hours of work condensed into one video. Essentially, it's a lot more raw footage went into this video than what normally goes into the Planet Coaster uploads. And the reason for this is that it's very scenery heavy, this one. As in, like, it's just sort of building scenery, but it's not like amazing like Silverette or Silverette. I don't know. Someone pointed out on my last video that I've been pronouncing Silverette as Silverrat this whole time. And it's because I obviously just glanced at his username once, and I got the E and the A the wrong way around. So instead of being Silverrat, I guess, I read it as Silverrat, and I've just been calling him Silverrat ever since, because I guess silver and rat are two actual words, whereas Sylvanret or Silvat and I don't even know what his name is. You guys know who I'm talking about though. So I'm very sorry. I know you watch all these episodes, Silverette. I'm sure you do, because this is just the best Planet Coaster series. I think we can all agree on that. So what do we? Like I said, nothing really happens in this episode. It was a lot of scenery building, and you can kind of... Thing is, like, what you're seeing on screen, it's the sci-fi area. We're building it, so let's just rewind. I'm getting ahead of myself. The purpose of this video is to finish the sci-fi area of the park, so then we can kind of build other aspects of the park. So I weighed about stretching this over a few episodes, but honestly, we've got the basic layout established. Now it's just adding flares and sort of finer details to the basic layout, which for me, it doesn't seem like it would be that interesting to watch over a lot of episodes. You can probably just sort of, like I feel bad for saying this, but a lot of series, like the Elite Dangerous Park, for example, where it's amazing scenery, I tend to just kind of skip through it all, like just watch little clips of it just to see it evolving. Because I have YouTube ADHD. It's a real condition that I want to get medically recognized, YouTube ADHD. So I thought, let's just not bother showing all the really kind of finite tweaking of the things, because A, I don't really put much thought into how this might look in ultra fast timeline. Like, most of this series is done at 12 times actual speed, and so the camera is like just whirling around all over the place, up and down, especially doing the interiors of buildings. That's why none of the videos really show me building the interiors for anything, because I'm having to constantly look up, down, left, right, up, whichever way, and it's just not very good to watch in fast motion, but then it's quite boring to watch at real-time speed. So instead of trying to sort of put time and effort into working out the best way of executing this and finding a happy medium that would keep it fresh and entertaining, I just decided to cut it. Someone else can figure it out, and I'll just copy them. But yeah, like I said, we're just finishing the sci-fi area, really. And like I said, we got the basic layout. So now kind of just planting a few rides. So that was kind of cool to have the loop going through, the track going through that loop just there. But generally, you kind of got the gist. So all the rides have pretty much been placed. We do end up building one. I did end up building like a little roller coaster later on, which I didn't plan on putting in the sci-fi park area, but I think it ended up looking like it worked out really well. I'm really happy with how that roller coaster came out. It's a small one, but you know exactly what it is, because it's going to be the thumbnail of this video, because I have no idea what else could be the thumbnail for the video. And we will also be showing the POV, not only for the new roller coaster, but also the roller coaster we built in the last episode, but it wasn't really finished. I didn't really want to show the POV until I'd finished it. A, because I wanted to show it as a finished product, and B, I couldn't find the footage of the POV when I actually filmed it at the time. So unfortunately, the POV footage I've had to get kind of now. I haven't actually even got the POV footage in the Sony Vegas file yet. I'm going to add it later. So I don't, but it will be added. And that's going to obviously be a big spoiler, because you'll be able to see the rest of the park in its almost finished state. So I guess it's kind of a tease. This is what I did with Mirror Lake as well, to be fair. I kind of showed the POVs whilst the park was complete to give you a taste of what's to come. That's what I liked. That's the excuse I used to tell you guys. In reality, it was because I just forgot to film POVs as I went along, but it ended up working out quite well, I think. So yeah, we did tweak that barrel roll at the top. I think I mentioned in like the Western episode that this roller coaster has kind of like a custom inversion, whereas most of my other coasters use the inbuilt ones because they're just heart-lined and smoothed better and things. Variable Gaming, I ain't. That guy makes very smooth coasters. I don't know how he does it, but, well, I mean, I know how he does it. It's time and patience and talent, and I have none of those things. So, but most of my time, speaking of time, one of the reasons why this episode took 7 years to make, well, 2 weeks, but, you know, same thing, is because I've been working on quite a lot of ambitious KSP missions. So obviously you saw the Jewel 5 by SSTO, not last week, but the week before, which is, I'm not even going to be modest about it. It was very impressive. That video took a lot of planning and to get right and execution. And then last week, while it wasn't that difficult, it was still an ELU mission. I think ELU missions, you know, even for me, are still, you know, they're still quite difficult to do. I guess it didn't really take that much time to film. It took like an afternoon, but whatever. The one I'm filming at the moment, I'm actually a little bit torn about it because it is Wednesday, my dudes, and the video is nowhere near finished. So I don't know what I'm going to do for Saturdays, or I guess now it's kind of become a Friday tradition for KSP. I basically upload it on Fridays when it's done. If it's done on Friday, I'll upload it on Friday, but otherwise it'll be a Saturday. Usually I finish filming it on the Friday evening, then go to bed and edit it all, record the commentary on Saturday, and then try and get it uploaded before 2. At the moment, it's, well, I guess no one really watches these videos, so I won't be spoiling it for anyone, but it's a single stage to anywhere, because I last made an SSTA, as they're known as. Actually, no, my last SSTA was the Behemoth SSTO, you know, a giant 500-seat Behemoth that I sent to Lathe, but that was not fun. This is basically the spiritual successor, or I guess the direct successor, to the single stage to everywhere video that sadly got blocked by Sony because Sony is Sony. And I kind of wanted to remake it, but do a better recreation. So this is essentially, it follows that craft was called the Acacius 2, and this is the Acacius 3. So it directly follows. It's essentially the same craft, but bigger. So it has more engines. It has lots of science gear on it. The Acacius 2 only had a crew capacity of 1. This has a crew capacity of 4, but like 2 of those seats are a science lab module. So it's got a science lab on board. It looks really like, I think it looks really good. I was really happy with how the aesthetics turned out. The only downside is it can't do Tylo. I do have another Acacius ship, which has virtually the same specs as this current one. Like it has a lab and crew capacity that can do Tylo, but it's just very ugly. It was so ugly and crude and cumbersome, and it looked just dumb. And I was like, I kind of just want to make a cool looking ship, and then we just don't bother with Tylo and just have it look better, because I like my ships to look cool, and it just looked so dumb. Like maybe I'll make another video where I just show it doing Tylo, and that will be the other version of it that just does Tylo. So I just take it to like refuel on Mun, go to Bop to refuel, then land on Tylo, then that's the end of the video. But maybe I think I'd probably just redesign it from the ground up to make a properly good Tylo lander that it would be much bigger. I'm getting very off topic for a Planet Coaster video though, aren't I? Not that these videos have any kind of reputation of being very on topic, but you get the point. I mean, I think I started at one point discussing that this could be like just a platform for me to just ramble about what's happening in my life, and I've actually been talking about Planet Coaster for a lot of this video, and then I talked a lot about KSP. But what are we talking about? What should we talk about at this point? We're building a building here. Thank you, yeah, a 5-star commentary there. This was just basically secondary to the fact that the path system in the game isn't very good, and it's impossible to build plazas without just having loads of gaps everywhere, so I just put gaps everywhere and filled them with things. So this is just a building, and I thought it would just be like a big elaborate toilet block. So obviously it's aesthetic only because the toilet block itself is only 1 block, but I thought for the sake of kind of it looking good, I would make it kind of a fairly significantly sized building. I don't know, it can be like a staff room. Although staff rooms are a thing now in the game, aren't they? I haven't played this game for a very long time. All this footage has kind of been building up on my hard drive before I started releasing this series. So I haven't played it. I've not played it this year. I'd say the last time I probably played was November. So I don't even remember what's going on in the park. It's going to be a pleasant surprise when I open the game up again to grab the POV footage for this video. But yeah, I guess you can kind of see what's been going on. So you can see how bits of the rides have kind of materialized. Oh, we're building the roller coaster now. That's great. 9 minutes in. Bits of buildings have materialized and will continue to materialize throughout the video because, again, like the big station for the launched coaster is there. By the way, we've finished building the roller coaster now. So it took all of 20 seconds. What a great thumbnail for the video, something that takes up 20 seconds. I don't know if it is even is going to be the thumbnail. You guys might be really confused when I keep talking about it like it's the thumbnail, and actually I went with something else. But I feel like I picture in my head what the thumbnail might be, and it's usually a roller coaster whenever I can make it a roller coaster, because that's what people like to watch in a game about building roller coasters. Funny that, isn't it? So this is me now trying to figure out where to run the path. There's a lot of layers. There's so many layers. It's so dense, every single scene in this part of the park. Because it looks kind of cool from a sci-fi aesthetic. There's lots of layers, lots of kind of vertical building, and also because of the fact that I didn't really design it with sort of space in mind, as in, you know, physical space, not like outer space, which would make, I can understand why you might think that's what I meant, going with an outer space sci-fi theme. Anyway, whatever, we can skip through some of this. I mean, you can kind of see I was building a square building, lined it all with sort of cage elements, and with a little blue flare, just because I thought it looked kind of nice. And that's kind of something we've been going for, actually, in the rest of this sci-fi area. The neon blue bars are actually just signs with no text on them, in case any of you wondered that. The 2 people that might have wondered that, there you go, that's your answer. And yeah, that's it. I mean, the rest of this building construction was just doing the interior and the underbelly, which turned out to not work very well in time-lapse. We can skip through those. And then we can add a little flare to the top, and then everything else you can kind of see. I've just added trees, rocks, just to kind of fill in all the blank spaces. I built like a little garage for the big launched roller coaster as well. I think I started talking about this earlier and then stopped for some reason. So a bit like a little garage for the roller coaster, the big launched roller coaster, but it was pretty much the same process as it was for me building the main station, so I didn't think there was much to be gained. And there's other little things that I've kind of already done in other episodes of this series, like I built a little like kind of on-ride photo booth section for the big roller coaster. Again, just an information booth dressed up like it was a on-ride photo section. And here's the POV now, so I can just continue talking though. What else did we accomplish in this episode that wasn't actually shown on screen? What great editing, I must say. I must pat myself on the back for this. Oh yeah, I also had like a little tunnel for the ride you're watching now. You'll see that as it happens in the block section part. The only thing we've not done for the sci-fi area, and I haven't done it to this day, well, I mean, it's not done in the footage, so obviously it's not been done to this day. I haven't done anything to the monorail station. I don't even know if I'm going to keep the monorail as it is. I'll probably just finish the monorail when every single kind of quadrant of the park that it's going to go to is finished, and then I'll open the monorail up. So, you know, that all remains to be seen.Maybe you guys have any suggestions for me. And anyway, I hope you enjoy whatever the KSP video is this week. I'd like to get it out this week. Maybe I won't upload a KSP video this week because I'd rather have a video I'm happy with and have it delayed rather than something I'm not necessarily happy with. But one of the ideas I had was splitting it up, so we have one video to just work on the inner solar system, so Gilly and Moho and the Kerbin system, and then the other video is kind of the outer system, so Dres, Juna, Ike, Jewel and its moons, well, obviously just Jewel's moons, Bartilo, and Elu. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know. You leave any feedback down below. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll just let the rest of it run out. And yes, have a good day. The full playlist will be on screen at the end.